Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's makeup video, we're gonna talk about how to do makeup for beginners. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to achieve that flawless looking makeup which every single girl does. And I'm also gonna show you that it's actually really not that hard to have flawless looking makeup. It's just the small little details which we always miss out on. Listen, I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to keep saying this, but you need to drink a lot, and I mean a lot of water, because water clears out everything in the body. So if you want to have good looking skin, you need to have water, water, and water with you every single time. If you're gonna go eat, drink water. If you ate food, drink water. Just keep on drinking water, because honestly, this is the only thing which you need, which is the first and primary step when it comes to having good looking skin, which is drinking a lot of water. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna prep our skin. Okay, now when it comes to prepping the skin, I like to use Laneage's cream skin toner. Okay, and this is really nice and light on the skin, and I have really dry skin, really dry and sensitive skin, so a toner like this is gonna give me a really glowy base before even applying the makeup. Now you need to have a really good and hydrating toner. Now the Altea 147 cream, it gives you such a glazed donut look after you have it on the face, and honestly it just hydrates the face and smooths out everything before even applying makeup. So before you even start putting on makeup, make sure that you have the skin nicely and prepped. Okay, okay, next, to all of my dry skin and sensitive skin, acne prone skin girlies, I got you covered. So we have the 345 Mist Cream. Okay, listen, when it comes to this, I have a small bottle like this and I just pop it in my bag, and even though I have a full face of makeup with powder on top of it, I just like to spray it. And honestly, it is skincare in a bottle, and also makes your makeup look absolutely insanely beautiful throughout the day. So you can just pop this in the fridge, and I like to use it when it's cold, and when it's cold it adds a more of a calming effect, and it gives a really nice and glowy base. So I don't use primer. However, the reason why I do not use primer is because I prep my skin really nice and well, and this is the reason why I do not require to use primer each time I do makeup. So before I start the makeup, I'm just gonna spray this all over my face. Can we talk about how insanely plump and glowy the Dr. Altea 147 cream does to the skin? Oh my god, it's insane. Okay, next we're gonna talk about the foundation, the skin tint which we're going to use. Now, as far as if you maybe seen some of my videos, I like to look like a glazed donut. Okay, I like to look so super duper glowy. So when it comes to using primer and when it comes to using a skin tint, we have the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. Now, I know this is really expensive, but it's super duper worth it, because it is like a highlighter, a primer, and it's also a skin tint all in one. And after I use this one, I do not need to use anything else on my face, because it does the job. It already gives me such a beautifully light coverage, and it's also a primer as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna like blend this all out, and it is super duper beautiful. Look at that. So when it comes to using a skin tint or a foundation on your skin, make sure that you use something that's really lightweight, because we do not want to have something that's really full coverage at first, okay? Because that is gonna make your makeup look really cakey in an hour or two. So if you can see your skin underneath that skin tint or that primer or whatever you're gonna use, it's good. It's a good sign, okay? So if it has a little bit of coverage, that's good. That's a good start. Okay, next let's talk about concealer. Okay, do not forget that when you're applying makeup, make sure that the makeup that you apply, the skin tint or the concealer, make sure that they're both matching. So, for example, Charlotte Tilbury's skin tint, it's a water-based, so the concealer needs to be a water-based concealer too. So if you're gonna use a silicone-based skin tint foundation, make sure that the concealer to use is also, well, silicone based. So for my concealer, I'm taking Prettier concealer in the shade 0.5N, and this is the most lightest shade, and I'm gonna use this part first to cover up some places which I like to brighten up. Okay, next to blend this out, I'm gonna use a sponge, but this is not a dry sponge, it's a wet sponge, okay? Because we're using a wet product, make sure that the sponge is also wet so it does not crease on the face, okay? Okay, so next I'm taking Anastasia's Beverly Hills contour in the shade of Half Tone, and this is a gray contour, and the reason why we're using a gray contour is because I do not like to look bronzed. I like to look more sculpted, and a gray contour is gonna make the face look really sculpted. Okay, so next I'm just going to blend it all in. Okay, so next I'm gonna take the Prettier bottom part of the concealer, which is a liquid part like this, and this is more coverage. This is more of a medium to full coverage almost, and it is so beautiful on the skin, and I'm gonna apply it just after I've applied the top part, and this is just going to highlight the parts of my face which I want to cover up. Okay, so next we're gonna use powder products, and I'm using Huda Beauty powder in the shade of Sugar Cookie, and I'm gonna apply this right onto underneath my eyes and the rest of my face. Okay, so next we're going to take a brush, and I'm going to blend out the nose contour just like that. Okay, so I'm dusting out the excess powder on the face. Okay, now we're gonna go into blush. So for blush, I'm using Patrick Ta's Just Enough, and basically I'm taking the liquid part and I'm gonna apply it on top of the powder. So make sure that when you are applying blush first, apply it after concealer and after the face powder, which you do to set in the makeup, because it just looks so much better and it does not look cakey afterwards, which is what we want. Okay, so next we're going to move on to the eyes. So for the eyes, I'm using the Roman palette, and this is such a nice and everyday shaded palette, and this is in the shade Strawberry, and it is so cute. And I'm going to use this shade right here, which is called Fresh Berry, which is like a really milky white color, and I'm going to use that color on top of my eyelids to create like a base before we add in the other powders. so next on this palette, I'm gonna take the shade Bury the Fog, and I'm gonna use this like light brown gray kind of shade on the ends of my crease to kind of expand my eyes. Okay, next I'm going to use the same shade which I've used on my crease underneath my eyes, and I'm going to stop right there in the middle, and I'm just going to do all the way to there. Okay, so next I'm going to take a really angular brush like this, and I'm going to take in like a brown, like a really dark brown, and I'm going to use the dark brown to draw a line at the very end corners of my eyes to lift them up and to make them look like my lashes are more thicker and fuller and that I've got a nice wing. Okay, listen, I think that using an angular brush and drawing a liner looks much more nicer than actually drawing on a wing personally, and it just makes it look really natural. And this makeup tutorial is all about, well, looking natural and just glam and glowy, and I just really like the way that this eye makeup looks specifically. Okay, so next I'm gonna use Patrick Ta's powdered blush, and I'm gonna use it on top of the liquid blush which we have used, and like this it's going to create like a really beautiful bridal makeup because it just like intensifies the makeup more and it brings out the color more too, so it's so beautiful, and I love Patrick Ta's blushes for it, or the two combinations. Okay, so I have like a really small zit, over there, and to cover that up, I'm taking the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish, and this is just going to cover up that little red spot which I just had on my face, and it's gone. Okay, now we're going to highlight the most highest part of our face, which is the nose, the inner corners, the eyebrows, and I'm gonna blend it out with my hands. Okay, so let's talk about brows. So for the brows, I like to use this brow styling lifting gel set. It's from Essence, and this is the best of the best. It's really affordable and it does the job. And what I like to do is I like to brush the middle parts of my brows to give it like a really fluffy look, and I like to use this Essence eyebrow pen, which is basically like €1 and I go over just that on my brows. Now I'm gonna take the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour in the same shade, which is half tone, and I'm gonna use it to lightly just contour my nose, even though we've already done it after the powder and everything, but I'm just gonna use it one more time to just go over it more. I'm gonna use my hands to do that too. Okay, now when it comes to bronzer, I like to use Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless bronzer. And this is number 1, which is Fair, which is the lightest one. And I'm gonna lightly dab it onto the places where the sun would have hit me if I was outside, which is gonna be the highest points of my face, which is lightly my cheekbones. And I'm gonna also use it just a little bit on my nose too, which is the top part, because we want it to look like a lifting effect and not a drooping effect, because I know a lot of people, they apply the bronzer on their underneath of their nose, but it's just gonna droop the nose more down. So yeah, just really lightly I dab it on. Okay, now when it comes to the highlight on our cheeks, I'm going to use Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, which is the highlighter one, and I'm gonna use it to lightly dab on the side of my cheeks, which is the most highest point of my face at the moment. And I'm just gonna dab it with my finger, or you can use a sponge, but I like to use a finger because it blends out better, because the formula in this is really watery. So if you do use your finger, it just blends out really quicker. So on top of that liquid highlighter which we've used, I'm gonna use Dior highlighter, and I'm gonna use the white, and then I'm gonna use the pink one, and I'm gonna dab it on the side of my face, because like I've said, powder and cream products, both combined together, is one of a kind. Okay, next I'm gonna use a mascara for the lower lashes of my eyes, and the lashes which I currently have on are cluster lashes, and I will show you what kind of lashes I use. The current lash set which I have, I do that myself, and they're these sturdy wispy lash cluster sets, and I'm telling you, this is a game changer. It adds so much more dimension to your eyes, and it also brings a lot of focus to your eyes, and I love it. Okay, now for the lips, we're going to use the Catrice brow pencil, and this is waterproof. So I'm gonna use this specific pencil to line the top part of my lips like a tinsel, so I can use a lip liner to go over and also blend it to make my lips look really naturally bigger. Okay, now for the lip liner, I'm gonna take Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk shade, and I'm gonna go over the lip tinsel which we've created. Okay, I know how it looks, but trust me. So next I'm gonna take a Rimmel. Again, it's an eyebrow pencil, and I'm gonna use this pencil to go over the lips to make them pop up. Okay, next I'm taking the Makeup Forever in the shade Or Ever Walnut, and I'm gonna go over the lip. Look at that. We've got big lips, guys. Next, the lip gloss is gonna be Huda Beauty in the shade of Bombshell. And this is our finished look.